here from Kent's Firestone, John Kent. How are you, sir?
Fine as a fiddle.
Fine as a fiddle. A fiddle's pretty fine.
Fine as frog hair, split 4 ways.
I like it. How do you do that? How do you split one of those 4 ways?
Well, it takes a special tool.
You gotta have one, don't you?
That frog hair splitter.
Yes, sir.
And then you have to. It comes with an extractor, and a reactor, and a splitter,
and a protractor.
Am I paying
and you
for
get
this?
that frog hair, and you split that thing 4 ways, and it's amazing how it kind of looks like Peacock does it.
Well, I don't know. I can't see it after I get it split. It's kind of like with your one eye, you know.
I can't see a lick.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you know, honestly, I have lost sight in this eye, and I just had surgery on this eye, and I can't see a lick. But I tell you what, I'm in trouble if I can't talk. I don't have to see, but boy, if they told me, boy, you've lost your voice.
You'd be in bad shape.
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. How's John Kent at Kent's Firestone?
Just celebrating a happy new year,
Yeah.
2018.
Yes, sir.
Glad 17's gone. Don't want to ever see it again.
We won't.
There was too much stuff in 17.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So, but everything's great. You know, we've got the wintertime weather coming in here. You know, 8 degrees, and it's threatened to snow a couple of times, but it hasn't yet. But I haven't given up hope. You know,
seen some little flurries up, you know, on the Weather Channel, and it says, "Oh, it's snowing, but it's dissipating." And I said, "Well, it's not hitting the ground either."
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right.
I tell my wife, she says it's dissipating. I said, "I don't think it's hitting the ground either." Yeah. Are we going to get any snow?
I don't know. I didn't have but 2 fog days, you know, and it snowed a little here on Christmas Eve.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
You got a little snow shower.
Yeah, just about 15 minutes. It came fluttering down, and big old wet flakes, and then it was gone. You know, we were having breakfast at the church, and somebody said it's snowing, and the kids had a ball just going out there and letting it snow on them, you know.
Yes, sir.
So, and then when it quit, where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Did y'all have fun when you came back in?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, we were cold.
We were cold.
But the deacons in the church dried us off.
Did they? Yes,
yeah, put us on fresh socks, you know.
It got your little hands warm back up.
Yeah. We don't know. We don't mittens.
I know we've been. You know, I swear, when I was a kid, I remember this. Like, I mean, for some reason we didn't have gloves. We had to put on socks. We put on 2 or 3 pairs of socks. I don't know why. I guess we couldn't afford a pair of gloves when I was a kid.
No wonder you had 2 or 3 pairs of socks.
Well, we shared.
Oh, you shared.
And we were told, don't get the clean ones.
Bud would wear them a while, and then you'd have to take them away from him.
That's exactly right. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, that's, you know, the poor black family, folks.
Oh, life was tough. Life was tough back in the day. How's John Kent?
We're doing fine. We're doing fine. We're getting people's cars protected in this cold weather. We've had only one frozen up, poor little old lady, and but other than that, there's been a couple of slushy ones. But we're checking everybody's antifreeze. We started checking the antifreeze in about last October.
Sure.
With everybody that was coming in and heading off quite a few problems at the pass. But, you know, what I get tickled at now, David, is somebody will come up outside and say, check my antifreeze. I'm afraid it's going to freeze. And I said, if it hasn't frozen yet, it's not
You're
going
all
to.
right.
But I'll be happy to check it for you.
You're okay.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Yeah. We've had the test at 8 degrees. If it hadn't frozen, and you realize, folks, that at 8 degrees, and you start driving down the road, that's about a minus 20 with the wind chill coming across that radiator.
Right.
So it exacerbates itself.
That's a big word. I like that. Did you learn that over the holiday?
No, I learned that in kindergarten.
Did you?
I didn't go to kindergarten, so I couldn't have learned it there. You know, I was really worried about that. I saw that book once. You learn everything you ever needed to know the rest of your life in kindergarten.
Right.
I didn't go, so I don't know nothing.
Yeah, learn the thing.
I don't know nothing.
Sir. But that old car does get cold, doesn't it? It gets cold when that wind comes across.
Yeah.
A minus 20?
Yeah.
Really?
That's about right. See, that wind chill is exacerbated by your driving speed.
Didn't think about that.
And the faster you drive, the more wind chill factor you have. And the more wind chill factor you have, the cooler that radiator is going to get. So you need the protection whether you're running or not. Now, once you get the car heated up and the water flowing, well, that's, the effect is Negated. Another word.
Oh, you are sharp today.
I tell you, I got my hat on. It's warm.
Looking good.
Keeping the brain cells flowing.
That's right.
But we don't want you to freeze up. We want you to come by. Our most favorite spot at the store is the free air machine because all the tires are going down. You know,
they are that cold air. Just takes it right out of there.
But folks, that's on 24/7, 365, and it does not freeze. So it simply generates its air as soon as you turn it on. There's a pump in there, so there's no tank to freeze up. And I did have one yesterday where I had checked the lady's tires that she had one tire that was way overinflated, and of course it sucks the air back out.
Right.
Well, the next customer I went out to help, when I turned it on, it spit ice out the front of it because I know it was sucking some moisture out of that tire. You know, it spit a little ice out of the front. I said, "Oh, look at here,
good air, good air, nice and cold."
Because it flushes itself as soon as you turn it on.
Sure.
And I started down there, and it went whoosh. You know, I had a little snowstorm. Can I count that in the snow day?
No, not counting that one. It's got to come from the sky.
But we do have winter tires in stock. We've been studying them from folks. We've got our fleets all fixed up so they can get out to the chicken houses and take care of them. There's some tire sales going on. I've got one of the best Firestones that we've made in a 215/60/16.
Okay.
Regular $149.95. $99.95 right now. You know.
A little less than a $100 bill.
That's right. You bet. Then I've got some buy three, get one free deals going on, even on our best drive guards. Still have some of those left in a 205/60/16 and one set of 18. So if you need the best we have with the run trap protection, we've got those also. So
options. We have options.
And,
like that,
and one thing that I want you to think about when you're coming in for service, and we try to check it, but we don't always know how they are. Tell us how your wiper blades are. Because you don't want to be caught in the snow and your wiper won't wipe, you know? You've seen that Laurel and Hardy commercial with he's out doing that? I mean, you can't do that anymore. You can't reach out over the windshield. But check your wiper blades because you don't think about them until you need them.
That's exactly right.
And then when you need them,
they don't work.
And it's terrible. You know?
But when it clears up, you just don't think about it. You do not think about that. Say,
kind of like the Arkansas Traveler and the leaky roof. My roof leaks, but I can't fix it when it's raining. Well, why don't you fix it when it's not? Well, it's not leaking then, you know.
That's exactly right.
Wiper blades is the same way. Wiper blades is the same way.
We're taking care of folks at Kent's Firestone, though.
We try to, you bet. Christmas is over. The bills are coming in.
Yeah, they are that.
And if you got it on your credit card, you got to pay that. Mm-hmm. But, oh my goodness, John, I need a set of tires. What am I going to do?
Well, you're going to say, would you give them to me? And the answer is going to be, well, we can't do that because we're running a reputable business right here. And then you're going to say, the customer would say, Mr. Kent, is there any way that you can help me with a financing plan? Are there any things available?
David, you're in luck today. We have two financing plans.
Really? I have an option.
We have the Bridgestone Firestone credit plan, which gives you 6 months no interest,
okay,
or up to 22 months to pay with a little interest. The good news is, just got the announcement day before yesterday, it's been before that you had to charge at least $299 to get the 6 months no interest.
Okay.
They've reduced that to $149.
Wow.
So they've found that people who need just to buy two tires,
right,
but couldn't get the 6 months no interest,
right,
they've done everybody a big service,
sure,
and they've cut that in half. $149.95 now gets you the 6 months no interest, which is a really good thing. Now, if you don't qualify for that, David, which you probably won't because you got a little thing here, a little thing there,
sure,
you know, your credit department. Oh well,
not quite sure, but we'll look in a little bit.
We've got 90 days with a down payment of 25%. You can probably afford 25% of your total.
I think I can.
You know. And then you can either write me 3 more checks, or now on my new plan, you can give me your debit card, and we'll fix that up in 3 payments. You sign them, and on the day you tell me to run it through the bank, it goes through the bank, takes the money out of your account. You know, I couldn't do that before, so
right,
I've got a brand new plan.
Sure.
Use your debit card or use your credit card if you want to. It doesn't matter to me. and I can put it on the card.
So, Mr. Kent, what you're telling me is that if I don't have cash to pay for these tires, that I can drive away with time to pay?
Absolutely.
Wow,
Absolutely.
You're kidding me.
And the programs have been enhanced. Both of them.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
6 months no interest with a $150 charge. 90 days, you can use your debit or credit card. Wow.
I like it.
What a program.
It is a good program.
But only at Kent's. Just
you know what? It's kind of like when you go in your department stores or whatever, or your big chain stores or whatever. They kind of make you just pay for it, don't they?
They don't offer you much of anything.
No, just pay me. Just pay me now. I want your money now.
Credit card or cash.
That's right.
A lot of them don't even take a check anymore.
Or there's people that don't take cash anymore. I've been on the road before, and they said, we just don't take cash.
Yeah. Well, you look at the mini mart signs when you might stop by there for something, and there'll be a sign on the door. No bills over $50.
Absolutely, yeah. Don't want any big stuff.
No,
don't want
they won't take a $50. They'll take a 20, a 10, a 5, and a 1, but they won't take any of the big stuff because there's more big stuff out there with counterfeit.
More fake big stuff.
And it's hard to catch it anymore because the counterfeiters are really pretty clever guys.
Yeah, I guess if I were a counterfeiter, which obviously that I'm not, I probably wouldn't do ones. I wouldn't do $1 bill.
No.
And I wouldn't do 5.
Right.
Why would anybody not do anything? I mean, I got some counterfeit 20s.
But 20s are floating around.
Yeah.
We had some of those in the area at Christmas time. And we've got a little pen we mark everything with.
Right, yeah.
But if there is a process now, I understand, where they take and bleach out that paper that will accept that pen not turn black,
right,
and then print over it, and you can't tell. So they're smart, you know.
Yeah, the scammers can scam the scammers who scam the scammers who scam the scammers. That's it. Something
and
like that.
You heard that right here.
That's right.
On Channel 6, right?
I want to say Happy New Year to you, sir.
You, and we thank you for all your good work in the past year. We appreciate all your business. Looking forward to having a great 2018. Everybody says it's going to just boom, and
let it happen.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
You bet.
Come see us at Kent's Firestone. Amy Radula, White River Area Agency on Aging. And I would tell you what she did, but that would be more than a mouthful than what I could say today. Amy, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit, first of all, tell us a little bit about Amy Radula and where you grew up and things of that nature.
I grew up in a very small town called Gravely, Arkansas. It is in Yale County. It's on the west side of Arkansas. Very, very small school. Way out in the sticks, and then I ended up here 6 years ago. So
how in the world did you get from up there to over here?
I needed to upgrade.
There you go. There you go. So now tell me the name of the school again.
Before we consolidated, it was Fish Valley School. Then we consolidated to Plainview Rover.
Okay. Wow, I tell you what, you're talking about small schools, and then I guess non-football playing schools and basketball playing schools?
When we started doing the consolidation, there was lots of small schools, so they were able to consolidate. Though we weren't fully consolidated yet, we could still travel to one of the smaller schools and play football there. So.
Okay. Well, what we want to do is find out a little bit about what you do, and then we want to find out how you got into doing what you do. So tell us what you do at the White River Area Agency on Aging.
Okay. I am the Long-Term Care Regional Ombudsman here for Region 2. As an ombudsman, each state is responsible for having their own ombudsman program. It's part of the Older American Act, and we advocate for residents who are in long-term care facilities. So whether it's a nursing home, an assisted living, or residential care facilities, we go in there and make sure that their rights as residents are being protected and that they're not being violated. We go in and investigate their complaints, their concerns, because we want them to be happy where they're at.
Okay. So how do people get to you? How do you get to represent or as such, or what? How do you get to have a client in your position?
Well, anybody can contact me. In each facility I cover, there is a poster with my picture and my contact information. The resident can contact me or someone on behalf of the resident, whether it's a staff member, another resident, whether it's family, or even church groups that go into the nursing homes and they see something that might be a violation of their right. So anybody can contact me. And if it's something I can do over the phone, I can do it there, or if it needs my attention, I'll go into the facility and open up an investigation.
Amy, certainly important to those people who maybe don't have as much say-so in what goes on in places, but obviously what you provide is a big plus to those residents or those people that need those services. It's a great service that you guys provide here.
Right, and we try to educate the residents to be their own voice, you know, to be able to voice their concerns without fear of retaliation. And then I also like to encourage them to advocate for other residents, because I can't be in every facility every single day, but if they're able to look after those who are unable to voice for themselves, then that really helps me and helps the other residents.
How in the world did you get into doing that, and what inspired you along the way to get into this type of employment?
Before I came here, I was working in a nursing home doing admissions and marketing, and I enjoyed being in the nursing home, but I felt like the residents needed more. And I had worked alongside the previous ombudsman, and I guess I made an impression on Ted, and he let me come and be part of their little group here. So
yeah, their little group is a great organization,
yes.
And I know you say that, you know, in jest, and certainly some wonderful people to work not only for but with. And if you find anybody for the rest of your life that's any better than Ted Hall, I bet I'd take the job.
Gotcha.
If you find somebody better than that guy, because you won't.
Yeah. And I think that you're right on that, because it's been wonderful so far. So.
Well, I know that since we've been doing the program and coming over and the changes that White River has made, I mean, it's just amazing the positive attitudes that you have around the community. You know, here at Batesville, of course, we're in Newport also that I'm familiar with, and you know, lots of counties. We're in 11 different counties, I think.
We do 10.
10 different counties. And but anyway, the work that you guys do are simply it's amazing what you do for those people out there in the public that need help, and lots of different services obviously that you provide. And then I appreciate you taking time to visit with us. And if somebody needed to call you, or what would they call here? How do they call you? How would they get in touch with you?
Well, my phone number is posted on, of course, the posters. You can also find me on the White River Area Agency website or on the Long-Term Care Ombudsman website. But my direct phone number here is 870-612-3041. And may I add something real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay,
you
so
sure can.
Part of our program also has volunteers. And we ask our volunteer ombudsmen to go into their facility of choice a few hours a week and visit with the residents, get to know them, walk around the facilities, because again, that's more eyes in the facilities that can relay information to us. So if anybody wants to be a part of that, more than welcome to call me as well.
We have asked on this program before about volunteers for this particular what we're talking about here, and we need people. We need people to volunteer.
Yes.
We need people that are willing to help. We need people that are willing to love and help other people that maybe that can't help themselves or whatever. So, and again, volunteering, just get in touch with you here and finding that phone number or getting on the website and get in touch with you. And hope you folks will have enough heart. If you've got a few spare minutes during the course of your week, we'd certainly like the opportunity to visit with you and maybe share some of those minutes with you. Amy,
yes, please.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
And
nice
welcome
to see you.
to the program, and we'll talk again.
All right, thank
White
you.
River Area Agency on Aging in Newport and Batesville. Tammy Gallen at the Dairy Queen, the Grill and Chill in Batesville, Arkansas, and we want to introduce Tammy. We talked with you several months ago. You came on, did the program. New owner of the Dairy Queen. Tell us a little bit about that.
Me and my husband Ross are the new owners. We took over January 1st.
January 1st, and
Yes.
great experience. Tell us, for those of us that don't know, tell us a little bit about Tammy Gallant, and tell us a little bit about your connection to Dairy Queen.
Well, I used to teach school out at Sulphur Rock Elementary. I taught 2nd grade, and my parents decided they wanted to retire, so me and my husband discussed it, and we thought we'd take over.
And parents, when you talk about the Strecker family, 29 years, they told me the other day they've been running this store. So I think you're well trained. I think you're well suited for the business. You've been around the business, and we certainly wish you the best of luck. And nothing's going to change. We're going to continue to do the things that we have always done, and we want the folks in Batesville and surrounding areas to know that we're here and we're going to provide a great product and continue to do so.
Exactly.
Tell us about some of the products that we got going on right now.
This month we have our A1 Bacon Cheeseburger back. It's here for a limited time only. And we also have our Blizzard of the Month, which is the Triple Truffle Blizzard.
Triple.
Yep.
It is that, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Kind of triple, hard to say.
Exactly.
We always want to mention the $5 lunch and invite folks, in to take advantage of the $5 lunch. Have a lot of things on the. Tell us a little bit about that.
On our $5 lunch, we offer the 3-piece chicken strip basket, or we have a deluxe cheeseburger, and we also still are doing the bacon Western barbecue burger.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then now we have the A1 bacon cheeseburger on there.
And the staple for Dairy Queen for many, many years has been the chicken strip basket, which obviously we have that. But tell us about it. We're still doing the barbecue, still on the chicken?
We are doing the on the chicken just for this month, and then next month it's going to go to a different type of barbecue.
Wow, okay. And we have discounts in the afternoon on things to drink, have happy hour. We call it happy hour, but it's longer than a happy hour. Tell us the hours on it.
It's from 2 to 5, Monday through Friday.
2 to 5, and they call that happy hour, and it sounds like a happy 3 hours to me.
Yes, it is.
Tammy, listen, good luck here at Dairy Queen. Again, we invite all of our customers and clients and friends to continue to use us here. Service has been fantastic. I'm a triple cheeseburger guy with onion rings. I had it today. It was simply fantastic.
Well, awesome.
And good luck, because I know it's going to be a great run for Tammy Gallant and your family.
Well, thank you. I'm excited about
Come
it.
see us at Dairy Queen here in Batesville.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure when I get to visit with my good friend Jimmy Cooper. Good to see you, my friend.
It's good to be here. When you get my age, it's good to be anywhere.
Good to be anywhere, isn't it? My good friend Jim Cooper. Of course, we're at Willis Funeral Home here in Batesville, and of course, we introduced Jimmy several months ago, but we wanted to come back and rehash again and talk a little bit about Jimmy and his experience in the funeral home business. And Jim, first of all, welcome, back to Willis Funeral Home, and tell us about being here, and let's talk a little bit about what I call experience that is second to none, because you have got great experience.
Amen.
In working in a beautiful profession.
I've started my 3rd year here at Willis Funeral Service. I put in 20 years in Newport in funeral business over there, and I've been here starting my 3rd year now, and I'm getting old, but I'm still going to keep going, buddy.
Well, I think all of us get a day older every day that we go by, do we not? Do we not?
That's right.
Well, talk about some of your experiences. I mean, you were under some great training, and most of your time spent in Newport, and great training that you got there.
Amen. I started out under Mr. Bob Jackson. Everyone knows Mr. Bob over there in Jackson County, and Bob was a perfectionist.
Yes, sir.
And I learned a lot of stuff from Mr. Bob, and of course he passed away, and I left there and went out to Dillinger's, and Tommy Allen's the manager out there, and he's a fine, good friend of mine, and I learned a lot from him out there. I was with each of them 10 years of each, and the people at both funeral homes were great friends of mine. I was born and raised in Newport, and I knew everyone there, and I think that helped me in this business by knowing a lot of people. And I've got acquainted with several folks over here. I've done. Sorry to say, I've done a lot of funerals since I've been over here in 2 years, and I'm getting to know the folks over here, and we're just having a great year. I mean, everything's just going good, and we're just doing good.
Well, I do know this, that if you're associated with it, it's going to be good. You're a guy that pours your heart into your business, whatever the case may be, and whatever you're doing, and Jim, talk a little bit about Mark Robinson.
Mark Robinson, yeah, he bought this funeral home last January, in fact, a year ago this month. Of course, the previous owners were very dear friends of mine, and Miss Willis passed away, and of course her husband had died several years ago, and she's the one that called me and wanted me to come over and go to work.
Right.
And then she passed away, and I had the honor to preach her funeral.
Wow. Wow.
And being a Baptist minister helps me in this business, I believe. This is a ministry.
Yes, it is.
It is a ministry.
Yes, it is.
And we try to help everybody we can. We, you know, if they don't have a preacher, Tim and I are both licensed ministers, and we'll preach funerals for them if we have to. You know, it's just whatever the family wants to do, we try to go along with it.
Well, I think one of the things that you and I have talked about, and one of the reasons that you came to work here, that number one, you wanted to be in a real good facility. You wanted to be able to provide the things that you can provide, but you wanted to do it at a very affordable rate where most people can, you know, afford to pay for their funerals. Because certainly an expense of a funeral is something that everybody has to talk about when they sit down at the table.
That's right. And I tell folks, and I've told you before, the best thing you can do right now is come in and do a prearrangement.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about prearrangement.
If you do a prearrangement, you lock in your prices at today's prices.
Okay.
And if you live another 20 years, the prices don't go up.
Okay.
It's just what you locked it in at. And it's a lot easier on a family to come in and do that now than it is to wait till time of need or someone passes away, because you and I both have been through situations where some family member has died, and it's hard to make funeral arrangements.
It is.
Because you're at a bad time in your life, you've just lost a loved one, and it's just hard.
I think being at the table, Jimmy, the big thing is answering the questions that, I mean, your first thought is, well, let me ask what he wants, and you can't ask what he wants.
Right.
And if you do that up front, all those questions are already answered by the guy themselves or the person themselves.
That is right.
It's the beauty of it. The beauty of it.
And we have licensed people here that can do the prearrangements. What they do when they come in and do a prearrangement, it goes through an insurance company.
Right.
And they can pay as low as $25 a month.
Right.
Whatever they want to pay a month, they can pay on it. And I mean, it's just a way to go.
It's a good way to go. It's a good way to get your funeral paid for, and like you say, to lock it in at today's cost. It's just like anything in this world; things go up on a yearly basis. And but I know you're excited to turn to 2018 and keep rolling here at Willis.
A little story talking about the price. I had a fellow who came in to do a prearrangement, and he said, "Man, these caskets are high." I said, "Sir, have you bought a new truck lately?" You know?
Yes, sir. Yeah, what you get for a casket make you a small down payment on a pickup truck. Small down payment. But again, I know you're excited. 2018 is going to be big for Willis Funeral Home. We want folks to come by and visit with us.
Amen.
Just talk to us about what we might be able to do for you when that time does come. When you need some services, you need some funeral arrangement services, we'd certainly hope you'd give us an opportunity here at the Willis Funeral Home. Jimmy Cooper, my friend, as always, my pleasure, sir.
My pleasure to see you.
Jimmy Cooper, Willis Funeral Home in Batesville. For the first time in the history of our program at Customized Vision Care with Dr. Gavin McDowell and David Black, we have absolutely nothing, and I mean nothing, to talk about.
Not a thing. Not a thing. Nothing interesting, nothing uninteresting. Just
we talked for 30 minutes to try to come up with a subject about what we're going to talk about on this 5 to 7 to 15-minute program that we do, and we came up with nothing.
So it's now it's an option. We're either going to just sit and stare at each other silently for the next, how long is our spot?
As
3
long
hours.
as we need it.
3 hours, or Dave's going to dance.
I'm thinking about dancing. Okay, I thought about dancing. I'm not going to do that. I do want to ask you about some of your training that we do. I want to get off the eye care subject and talk about training and marathon training.
Oh, I thought you were training. Like, okay, you're going to ask me to, you know, who was my instructor for general pathology?
How'd your training go? How'd you become a doctor? No, I want to know about your athletic prowess and your. I mean,
prowess.
Yeah, I know you are.
Prowess.
You're one of those guys that loves to exercise.
Yeah.
You're in the gym. You're on the track. You're out there running. How's that going? And tell us about your recent going to get up and go do it and didn't get up and go do it and why you didn't get up and go do it.
First off, it's cold.
Yes, sir.
It's cold, and not a lot that I do. I'll put it this way. They make treadmills to run on indoors, and that's like torture. And actually, if we had a longer spot, I'd tell you the full-on how the treadmill was derived from an actual torture device developed in England. And I'll tell you about that after. Anyway,
Okay.
it was actually built.
Seriously?
Yes, it's designed off of a torture device. So I don't
no
run on a
wonder I didn't like them.
I do not run on a treadmill. Like I can't. Well, let's put it this way: if I'm in a hotel in a strange city, yes. Like I went to New Orleans some months ago. I ran the treadmill there.
Okay.
But yeah, I get out and run, and my group usually runs at least 3 days a week, and I did not run yesterday.
Why?
It was -5 wind chill. -5.
It was cold. It was cold.
I'm not. That's a negative in front.
Yeah.
If you're not curious,
Minus
not
five,
knowing
plus
what
five.
minus is.
Look,
And
question.
5 is cold. That's that.
Why do you say
Fahrenheit.
5? Why do you say 5 and then a -5 and we don't say a -5 and it's a +5? Why is it 5 and -5? Why is it not -5 +5? Just thought I'd ask.
Why is
I don't know.
okay? Why is hot water heaters called hot water heaters? Anyway,
I saw a good question on Facebook last
Oh.
night. Does hot water freeze quicker or does cold water freeze quicker?
that's a full entropy question. I think it goes back to my chemistry background.
Yes, sir.
But,
And,
the answer is, this depends. Depends on the qualities of the water.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. Went right over it. Didn't answer it. Just
Totally avoided the question by giving you something else to look up.
Education, though. Education.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been in this business a long time.
Yep.
You had a great year taking care of your patients last year. We look forward to doing that in 2018. And on a serious
Absolutely.
note, I mean, we're here. We want your business. We want, if you're unhappy where you are or if you just need to see a specialist that can help you with your eye vision.
Knew it was coming.
It's coming. We recommend Dr. McDowell. Tell us about the year. Tell us about last year. And
Last year was a good year. I'll say this. A lot of businesses are going to measure their failures or successes based upon end-of-year numbers as far as profits and losses
Sure.
and stuff like that. And yeah, we are a small business. But essentially, if I can care for our patients to the level that I feel as though they deserve, which I think everybody deserves the highest level of care, regardless of your background, regardless of your situation, regardless of a lot of different things that might happen outside your control or within your control, that's not for me to decide. My job is you come see me, I'm going to give you the highest level of care that I can possibly give. And we have yet to have only 7 patients come in and complain this week. And today's the 3rd.
And today's the 3rd.
No, that's how we gauge our success. You know, patients returning, coming back, referring family and friends. That's how we measure our success.
It's always good to know when you do grandma's eyes and then son's eyes come and then grandson's eyes come and then the next group of people and then you're doing a whole family and then,
Right.
and I mean that repeat referral business is it's just like in any small business.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a must, and there's no doubt that I mean I see people in here. You know, we've been doing the show long enough that I've seen parents whose now kids are coming in here and so on and so forth. Maybe they bring their grandparents in.
That's how you know you've been doing this for a while. Whenever your patients you've been seeing for a while, they're coming in with their kids. It's like, oh wow, I've read about this in books and how people get old, and I didn't think it was going to happen to me.
Yes, sir. But
Lo and
we
behold.
provide professional care, and I want to talk about the process because I've been to several other, I guess you call surgical doctors,
Right.
What do you call them, and that you've recommended to me, and going through the process of how they run you through. And I will say this, and I've said this before, the process of how you get your eyes examined here is second to none. And I've been coming to see an optometrist all my life. And talk a little bit about that process from what you get from the time you walk in the door till you get to the next spot and going
I got
through.
you.
I mean, it's in, and I mean, we get it done, but we get it done in a professional manner.
Right, and well, I'll say this. We fully practice the medical model here, and what that means is that I'm sure everyone has seen commercials or ads for lens crafters, and in Jonesboro there's Lens Masters, there's Pearl Vision, there's Sears Optical. There's a lot of different Walmart has opticals.
Right.
And I'll be frankly honest, and this is no detriment to their business model whatsoever. They are in the retail optical business. They are to get you in, get your numbers, get your glasses, and get you out. And we provide that service, but we provide that as a smaller portion of our service. Our service is more geared toward and directed toward the overall health of the eyes themselves. And I will say this, it's very hard for me to simply look in someone's eyes and say, well, that's your problem, and this is what we got to do, and that's going to fix your body.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of different measurements going. There's a lot of things I can't physically see in the eye. But to be frankly honest, I've got almost every bell and whistle you can dream of when it comes to medical eye care.
Right.
And so I will say this: I have some equipment that even some ophthalmologists do not have.
Okay.
Now the difference between ophthalmologists and myself is it's not their first go-to or knee-jerk reaction. They're going to try to solve things through surgery, and that's great.
Right.
And there are many things that I see in here that I have to refer out for surgery.
Absolutely.
That I can't fix.
Absolutely. Sure.
But you know, my job, realistically, I'm really in preventative medicine. I'm doing everything I can to give you the best information I can give you to make better decisions and to help you help yourself into preventing problems before they happen.
And I think a lot of us forget that, and we've talked about this for several years on this program, once or twice a year, we don't just have to see you when your eyes get blurry.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd rather see you before they get blurry.
Exactly. You don't, I'll say this. You don't normally change your oil in your vehicle after it starts knocking. Right? You change it on a very regular basis so you don't have to blow that engine up to know, oh, I guess I should have done something about that oil. That's the whole purpose of it. That's the reason everybody should have a yearly eye exam after the age of 6 months. Okay. That's 6 months old. That means children. And no, I'm not going to have a child in there and the big contraption that we have to check vision and ask them which is better, 1 and 2.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of different things that we check for in children with reflexes. We check in the elderly. We check in middle age. I mean, there's so many different things that happen in different stages of life that, you know, if you just had it monitored,
right,
I assure you we could prevent a vast majority of problems you might have down the line.
Well, I think we all miss the boat on health care of our eyes.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Oh,
we all miss the boat.
Well, I mean, it's not going to happen to us.
Right.
That's some other guy it's going to happen to. I mean,
and it happens to us.
And it happens to us over and over again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. But I appreciate what you have done for me personally, because, I mean, it's been where I mean, my glasses are here, my contacts are here, everything that I've always done has been here. I've never had anybody any better in all the years that I've been, you know, seeing optometrists. And
well, if I was a narcissist, that would really just play right to my strengths.
You'd take off on that, wouldn't you? You'd take off on that. But I appreciate what you do. And like you say, when you get to the point where you say, well, this is something that's not my specialty, let me get you to the guy that is the specialist that can do that.
I'm going to punt.
Yeah, you're going to punt, and they're going to stick needles in your eyes.
Yes. Don't move.
Don't. Relax. Won't hurt a bit.
I love it. Relax. Now we're going to shove this needle into your eye.
That's right.
Oh, wait. Those two don't go together.
No, they don't.
No.
Dr. McDowell, good to see you, sir.
Good to see you too, Dave.
Hope you have a great 2018. I know it'll be exciting for you. It'll be exciting for us.
It'll be something.
Right, it'll be something. He's Dr. Gavin McDowell. We're at Customized Vision Care. Oh, you're looking for a guy that'll take care of you. He and his staff are the best. Two Chicks Nursery and Gift Company in Newport Malcolm Avenue. These are the two ladies who we call the Two Chicks, and let's introduce them to the public. Who are you, young lady?
I am Jenna Austin.
And you?
Amanda Llewellyn.
These ladies are the ones that are the two chicks of the nursery company and the gift company. We've got a lot of things that we want to talk about. We're talking about in the middle of the winter, but we're talking about things that are so important that have to be done now. You got to get them done now. Who wants to start first and tell us about some of the great services that we provide here? Because now's the time if you're going to schedule, first of all, lawn spraying. Let's talk a little bit about that first.
Let's talk about the lawn spraying. We are so excited. We did a little bit of yard spraying last year, and we just keep on expanding it. And now we are excited that we have Carl Fannin, who is my husband Josh's uncle. He has 36 years of experience spraying yards, and his other uncle has about 11 years of experience spraying. And so they have come on board to help us, and they are going to take on all of our yards, and we are very, very excited about that. But right now we are just trying to take on new contracts. If you are interested in us spraying your yards or coming out and giving you a quote, we would love to do that. It is important right now to start spraying your yard. I know it's winter and you're not mowing and you're not doing anything and you're not thinking about anything yard work except for the leaves, but it is so important because right now if you spray now before it gets 55 degrees, that's those pre-emergents that are going to get in the ground. And so then in the spring when everyone else has weeds and mowing, you're still not mowing because your yard is going to be pretty and it'll be beautiful in July. There'll be no weeds in it, and you'll be just starting to mow it early or later in the spring than everyone else because you won't have the weeds. So it's really important.
We talked about that before we got on the air about your investment and what you have to pay, what you'll pay to have your yard sprayed for pre-emerge, get it fertilized, come in the middle and spray. If you go over the course of 6 months and you figure up exactly what you have to spend all year and then compare that to what you have to spend on mowing the first 6 or 8 weeks when the weeds start coming up, it pays for itself.
Absolutely, it does. It does. And it just, the in-between mowing.
Right.
Like the mowing you mowed and then 2 weeks or 2 days, 3 days later, those weeds are taller than your grass and so you feel like you need to mow again. If you just get rid of those weeds and it's just your grass and just Bermuda, it just looks a lot better, and it saves you. It does save you money. When we will fertilize, we'll come out and we'll do some spot spraying while we're out there. But we try to get that. We want to get that pre-emergent in now. We'll do pre-emergence and then the post-emergence. But if we can get those pre-emergents in now, we would. That's what we want to do. That's where we want to be.
Well, and we're a local company, and we'd certainly appreciate the opportunity to price, our services to you. Absolutely. There are some outside companies that come in that do a lot of that. We would like to have part of that business.
That's right.
We can't handle all of that business. We'd like to have part of it.
Of course, we always want anybody to use local companies.
Absolutely.
And it would be a little cheaper just because we're not driving in from Jonesboro. We're from here, so hopefully we can beat their prices.
Well, we have another service that's provided by Two Chicks Nursery and Gifts. And, Amanda, we want to talk a little bit about yard celebration. That's something that is big, big, big around the community. Talk a little bit about it.
It is. It's something we started late summer. We make these large cutouts. You can rent them. They're for birthdays, anniversaries. We've done stuff for the school. We've done special things just for, people, just extra things that we have done. You can rent them. You can rent them for a day or 2 days. They're about 5.5 to 6 feet tall. So,
and amazing when people drive up, a kid gets out of school and it's his 8th birthday, and he drives up with mom or dad or whomever, or gets off the bus and he sees "Happy Birthday so-and-so." Huge for a kid or huge for an adult like me if I had something that said, "Happy Birthday" to me. I mean, it's something that you guys can do, and it doesn't matter how old we are. We can appreciate you guys putting those out there. And it looks good on Facebook, too, if it's on Facebook.
Well,
looks good on Facebook.
Not everybody gets a 6-foot birthday cake.
That's right. That's right.
And then we started the elves. And for the elf on the shelf type thing that everybody does.
Right.
So, and then we've been doing those all since about late November.
Late November, doing that. And we put those out. A lot of them we actually put out at night. I go out, Josh and I, or Amanda, we go out at night about 9 o'clock so that you actually wake up to it in the morning.
Wow, yeah.
So we're out there putting signs out of the night. So if you see our white diesel truck in the yard of someone, we are not hurting anyone. We're just putting out a sign. And always when I text them before we go out there, I'm like, there's going to be a big hairy guy. Don't shoot.
Yeah.
Because Josh generally goes with me.
Right.
So he's 6'8" man out there in the yard hammering down stuff. And we've almost mastered being the secret about it, like being quiet, hammering metal poles into the ground.
Well, no doubt, it's a big addition to Newport, Arkansas, no doubt, and
it's fun.
It's a celebration for sure. When you pull up there and you look at that, or you wake up that morning, you see that out there, you go, golly gee, somebody loves me.
No better way to tell somebody that you're 60 than have it in your
That
yard.
is correct.
Life size.
16, no doubt.
That's right.
Well, one of the other things that we do from a service standpoint is landscaping, and we want to talk a little bit about that. Who wants to hit on that one?
We both can. It doesn't matter. Of course, you can come to us anytime and get your plants. And if you already know what you want and you've got it in your head and you've looked online and decided we have the plants, or we can order the plants. A lot of times, if there is something that you know you want to use for the spring, come tell us now. We have a list that we're keeping that we have your name and what you want, and we'll call you when we order our plants in the spring and give you the price and ask you whether or not you want it or not. And then we do another order in the fall and we do the same thing. So you can tell us what you want. But say you don't know what you want, you don't know what you want to do or anything about landscaping, you just know you want it to look pretty or look better than what it is.
Be pretty.
That's right. You want it to be pretty. So we'll go out, we'll give you a quote, we'll draw it up and kind of give you an idea. Me and Amanda are very visual people, so we'll go out in our lot and we'll set it out and be like, nope, that doesn't look good, and then we'll put it back and try to figure out what's going to look best for your yard, and then we'll let you come look at it and you can see it, and then we'll come and do it. Or if you have an old flower bed that has gotten out of control.
Yeah, needs a little help.
Well, we've done some that have been out of control.
That's an understatement.
And our recommendations just start over. No, just teasing. We'll go in and we'll make our recommendations of what needs to be pulled and what needs to go and what can stay and what needs to be added. And so we enjoy that part of it. I think Amanda's really good at that part of it. She does a good job of deciding what needs to go out there.
You know, some people, Amanda, don't know. I mean, they really don't know, and they're looking for some professional advice, and you guys provide that professional advice.
Well, and if we don't always know either the right answer, but I'm not scared to ask or, call someone that I know that would know, or, find out the right information for that person. Or we even use, we have partnered, we love to use the extension office here in town for different questions too, and so they provide a service too to help, where we might be lacking knowledge. We try to research it so that we can get you the right information.
All right, anything else we need to cover? I know, boy, we're in the gift shop right now, and we had to cut a little bit ago because we had several customers coming in to look at Christmas gifts and T-shirts for sale.
Right, we do have a gift shop. We do carry a variety of different gifts. Right now it's Christmas. Of course, it's in here, and we'll be getting new things in for the spring. For February, we'll be working on, we'll do our candy boxes. If you didn't know, we did those. We did candy boxes last year for Valentine's Day. So
with balloons? With
balloons and everything. That's right. Just a little bit of everything here at Two Chicks.
Well, Two Chicks Nursery and Gift Shop in Newport, locally owned and operated by these two chicks, pardon the expression.
That's right, that's
by
us.
These two chicks, and would love to have the opportunity to have your business, earn your business, love for folks to come by, visit with us, see what we have, to sit down with us and on the things that we've talked about and other things that may be coming in the future. We're looking forward to having a great 2018. We thank y'all so very much.
Well, thank you.
Two Chicks Nursery, come see the girls.